Hi, I'm Rumbie, founder and director of Rumbie & Co. We are a curl specializing salon. We also have a curl care brand, and we're also into education. So we're out there to dominate the curl space. And we're here in Chippendale about to tell you some things on relaxing Afro hair. At the moment, look, we have been doing classes for makeup artists in the industry, so who session stylists as well as professional hairdressers. And we are also open to helping people who aren't professional hairdressers but are interested in hair, because that was also my journey. I sort of started the other way around. So we've got classes as part of the academy around Afro hair, curly hair, and just trying to get people to understand the science and not just the aesthetic side of curly hair.
For me, it's really important that when you take off all of those extensions, that you're confident in your own hair and you don't feel like it's a mask that you continuously have to put on. The extensions are basically for protecting your hair from breakage. So you're putting it in protective styling for it to grow. So when you actually take it out, you're proud of what you have under there. That's why I'm very particular about the way I relax my hair, who relaxes my hair. And trust me, I always tell Rumbie, like, no one's touching my hair. If you're not ready to touch it, I'm not doing it. It's very important to know who does your hair because it goes a long way and you're getting advice as well. That's one of the things I really like about coming here. You get advice as you go on how to manage the hair and how to make sure that you don't get breakage, because we always hear that black hair doesn't grow. It's a big lie. It does grow, but it breaks off from the ends if you don't know what you're doing.
Yes and no. Okay. Yes, in that you need to have some of your own natural oils, almost, I guess, lubricating and almost as a protective barrier. However, with best practice, we actually don't apply the relaxer onto your roots immediately, right? So, because we want to preserve the integrity of your scalp. So we're actually going to go in there first and we're going to apply it off your roots. So where our responsibility is to make sure that we are keeping your scalp healthy for long term. It's not about right here, right now. Because if I put on the relaxer and you've got a lot of hair, so if I put on your relaxer right now and we just go straight onto your scalp is sensitive, your hair is quite thick and coarse for each individual strand. So it's not actually going to process fully. So pretty much right now, my responsibility as a hairdresser, right, isn't just the application. So I think contrary to what normally happens within the Afro community, people just think, you know, you're there just for the application. But we're actually here to make sure that we take care of your scalp, changing the perspective from it being the notion of I'm doing my hair for today to look good for today, but to think for the future. You're finding that between 8 to 10 weeks, you're doing a relaxer, so your hair's growing. So the problem is in the keeping it, and which is where most of our issues come in that we don't keep our hair well. We have implemented maintenance techniques and products that don't really help us. And I think as we start to look at all these things that have been happening, you know, globally, where there's been more of an awakening to things that are happening, our hair hasn't been researched much. Products have just been thrown around because we buy. So I think it's about now being in a space where we buy responsibly. We think about and start to take ownership for ourselves. Education is very important. You know, we start to learn for ourselves, what does that actually mean? Is this product really good for me? What exactly does it do? So, yeah, you do one thing and then nothing else for a long time, which isn't good. So for example, people are gonna put a relaxer and then there's no care in between, nothing. You don't wash it at all. It's more than just like the relaxing. You need to put in leave-in conditioners. You need to put in like treatments as well. And so it might be a combination of that, and also it might be a combination of genes. But that being said, you have very thick hair. I don't, but I've also had long hair. My hair used to be like up to like bra strap length, right? When it was relaxed. All my life growing up, but I don't have as much hair as yours. But that being said, I know that like my mom used to take care of it, and even when I started to grow it myself, I used to take care of my hair a lot. So it's just putting in a little bit of care. Yeah. And if it was over-processed, then it's gonna break off. So again, another responsibility that a trained hairdresser would have is actually understanding, is this enough? And everyone's hair is not the same. So how I would relax your hair, very different to how I'd relax mine. Because your texture is very different to my hair, right? So there's a few things I would change up because I need to make sure that I keep the integrity of my hair, because my hair, not only do I have less than you do, my hair is fine per strand. Yours is thicker per strand. The reasons why you would have Olaplex or use Olaplex is just to strengthen. Just strengthening when you're doing a service that involves changing the form of your hair and breaking bonds. So that's where using Olaplex comes into play. So we would use it for color, because color also does have some impact in changing the internal structure of your hair. The hair is already stretched and we didn't comb it, we didn't do a thing to it. And this is how you keep your hair nice and strong. For an ideal relaxer, you need to have your hair still having body. It must still have body because it means that you didn't obliterate and kill all the bonds. And the reasons why we're having a relaxer is not so much that your hair just is dead straight. It doesn't mean that your hair is dead straight and you do nothing. It means that it makes it easier for you to straighten your hair. I would actually use a leave-in conditioner rather than a wash-out conditioner, because wash-out conditioners are not left in our hair long enough to affect change. The way our hair is structured and that of like straighter hair textures is very different. So we actually need to keep that product in the hair. So I'm gonna go in there with leave-in conditioner, absolutely amazing in there, because you've got heaps of hair. So I'm gonna go with probably like the equivalent of like a 50 cent and maybe like 50 and a 20 and a 10 cent or something like that. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna work that into your hair. And that doesn't seem like it's a lot, but the way that I apply it, it's going to be enough because I make sure that we have it everywhere. The reasons why we want to massage is so that we can encourage blood flow to your scalp. So obviously blood carries nutrients, and so it will, if we encourage blood flow to your scalp, then we're getting those nutrients that your hair requires within the follicle. And that then means that we get healthier hair. Look at you. Yes, child. I use this because I love the tension. A round brush tends to give me a little bit too much tension. And besides, I feel like if I've actually gone through and I have relaxed your hair, I've already taken your hair through like a whole lot of craziness, right? As in we've broken down the bonds. Okay, first of all, what blow dries with volume? You know what I mean? Like, can you see it still have that texture? Usually, if I even use another blow dryer, I still won't have this much texture. Wait till we straighten.
So, wait.
You're confused.
Dyson, they use jazz, first of all. That's the only explanation.
All right, so this is just magnetic, so it doesn't, so I didn't even do anything to it.
Take it out?
And then taking it off, let's just pull it out. So just like, it just goes like, look at this, right? And then it just like stays.
I mean, it's good, but I like this better.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I think it probably gives you more options. So for people, I would prefer this to actually use it at home because then it means that you have less damage as well.
Yeah.
Because for people who don't know how to blow dry, if you're pulling too much, you're actually causing too much tension on the hair. Wow.
I wow myself. It's a wow.
It's a wow.
This is Marilyn Monroe's hair now. I'm her sister. You know, we had the blood in it. We didn't check well.
You didn't check well.
Now,